Okay, guys, welcome back to your Gramerica Outlawed Roundup. Finally back after, I guess the last one recorded must have been like a month ago almost. I think it was
No,
around the 31st.
no, I don't think so.
Must have been around the 31st because I left on the 2nd.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wow, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Time flies.
Oh,
Man.
yeah, because we had them come out
We
since
had
then.
a couple pre-recorded, yeah, but
Yeah.
first time back in the saddle.
Yeah, there's been lots going on in the world. I mean, I'm worried about having too much content for this, but and I got to warn you, I don't know what's going on, but I'm sick.
You
Not
got
too bad.
COVID. That's what's going on.
I'm not too bad, but
You got
it's
the goof.
got a little
You
bit
got
of a cough, and then it turns into a sneeze, and then my nose is itchy, and then it's like
definitely
and
COVID.
I took high dose vitamin C. Do you remember those tubs we bought from Clive to Carl?
You should have got
Tubs of vitamin C. I had like 8 grams of that at once, and then I was just shooting like out of my ass. It was brutal. So
whoa.
hopefully it cleaned me out. But it was just like so my stomach is still rumbling for
Was
that. I
that
had
a COVID thing?
what?
Was that a COVID thing? The shits?
No. It's from the vitamin C. Like putting too much.
Oh, right.
That was a high dose vitamin C.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Treat the COVID.
But you know what's weird about it? It just feels synthetic again. And
Again?
I can't sleep properly. I had to have a couple naps today, but because I was up all night, like it's so weird, dude. Like I was up, so then I just got up at 5 or 6 in the morning. And I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'm not sleeping tonight anyway, so I'll just work for a few hours and then go back to bed later. Because
Hmm.
it's so weird. And I had these weird dreams again, and my nose, it's like I can't swallow it, but I can't blow it out of my nose either. It's like this stuff that's lingering around in there. So I'm going to talk about my hospital experience a little bit, but I think I'll do it in the members only, like later on the second half, because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus here in my small town. But it
About
was weird.
COVID.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's weird.
How's it? So you have COVID again? I mean, man, this is a real
Well,
shame.
everybody, no. It's not. It's just going around. Everybody. Like I was thinking to myself, I'm not going to get sick, but my sister was sick, and my Maria's son, and it's just been going around, right? Everybody,
A
and
bunch of people got sick in the Azores too, so maybe that was the same thing. Same.
who did?
Not a
Yeah,
bunch of people. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's
everybody
going
has,
around. So I mean, it's just you know.
it's like a wave.
But I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna be the one that doesn't get sick now, right? I hardly get sick because I don't really get sick, but I can definitely feel it. So hopefully, it's not going to get any worse than it is right now. But I might. Yeah, I might have to go to the bathroom or something in the middle of this, or hopefully I won't cough or sneeze.
What?
But I
Right.
can feel it in there, like something traveling around in there. I swear to God, it's weird.
A little nano robot.
It's a, it's very synthetic.
Interesting.
So I got sort of a segment on a bunch of like stuff that's going on in Canada. Some pushbacks. Like I ended up sort of collating like pushback in these small groups, almost like militia type groups pushing back in certain things. I've got some stuff on the UAPs and ancient history of humans, and then some Canadian stuff as well. That I didn't do the bear stuff. I think you have the bears, right? You have the bear, the grizzly
I don't.
one.
I didn't bring the
You
bears
didn't
here.
bring the grizzly one.
I just sent it to you, just and
What? Why would you do that?
well, I don't know. It was
I was
after the,
expecting your expertise on that.
I mean, it just seems like a bad idea to bring a bunch of kids into bear country. I mean, fucking, you know, doesn't it?
So, okay, well, for context for people, there was a bear attack in BC, a grizzly attack, apparently, with a bunch of kids going for a hike
Going for a hike with their teacher.
with their teacher. So, the weird part about it is 11 kids got injured,
Oh
but they
yeah,
all made it out. Like, I just don't understand. Like, how does a bear injure 11 kids but not kill any of them? Like, I just don't understand
yeah.
what
It's like
how did that many kids get involved? Like, wouldn't you just all like I don't understand the logistics of that. That's why I was kind of hoping like maybe you'd help me with that.
it's like some kung fu panda shit, man. He just comes running through there, like smashing kids from side to side. And then I
But
think
what?
the
But no,
teacher,
but no, but
she was
that's
a
what I don't
teacher.
understand. He's hungry pre-hibernation,
Yeah.
right? So why wouldn't he just start mowing down? I mean, why would he be injuring 11 of them to try
Well,
and
because he
disable
wants to
them?
yeah, exactly. He just wants to thrash them up so he can pile them up for later.
Ian says they all tripped as they ran away. I mean, that might be the case. I mean,
Oh, you
it
think
might
it was just a bunch of trips and falls? There's just a bunch of panicking kids.
slips, trips, and falls.
I think a couple got critically injured, right? And the teacher, I think, at least went down in battle.
So here it is. Here, there's Bella Coola, and there's a track, I guess, a trail down here where they go.
Oh, and not so cool today. Yeah, to get eaten by bears. That's
Good thing. Good thing. Boomer women in Nova Scotia want to take away their guns. So I mean, of course, people are making this about guns because you can't. The male teacher fought off the bear and took the brunt of the injuries. A hero who would have had a 12 gauge with who should have had a 12 gauge with slugs. I'm just gonna say it. One round could have stopped this, even if it missed. Bears don't stick around with the sound of hypersonic lead. Bear spray and bear bangers were used. Lethbridge News. This requires a firearm.
let's say the fake gun.
What?
He had a gun with a fake round.
Oh, I don't know. What's a bear? What do they call it?
I don't know. It might just be like a
Bear bangers. What's a bear banger?
fake shotgun round.
A bear banger?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why he's making the note about hypersonic because it's going to sound a lot different than a fake. When you got like lead shooting by you, that's what he's trying to say.
I don't know what it is. It looks like a little a true flare bear banger.
Being a resident of Bella Coola, I myself have been charged by a grizzly before, and my wife has been hesitant all year to go out walking. We have also had our buildings broken into by bears this year, and other residents have had bears break into their living rooms.
Oof. Man, wouldn't that be fucked up? A bear just comes charging into your living room. Like, holy fuck.
A place where you just feel safe, like, oh, they're not going to get me in the living room.
Ah, you probably wouldn't have time
arm
to
yourself,
come
please.
crashing through your fucking windows. You don't even have time to like get to your shotgun. Man.
When I was an education assistant, I always had a problem taking the children on hikes because of wild animals. Sure enough, one time we ran into a bear. No one got hurt, thankfully, but it could have turned out bad. The school is 100% to blame for this. Who the fuck takes kids hiking in Bella Coola right now? Someone ignorant of seasonal bear behavior, likely a DEI hire. You don't have to get into DEI for this. Why weren't the chaperones armed? Ignorant government laws and liberal ideology. Why do we put up with A and B? Because we're inundated with retardation.
Retardation. We're allowed to say retard again. Was he black or brown or like Mexican or something?
Well, we're not really allowed to say. I mean, we just.
What was his name? Do we know the teacher's name? I don't know. We could like guess if we knew his name. Let's find out. I'm gonna ask.
Well, it's not his fault. They're saying it's the school, right? The school is what he's saying.
But you think that the school forced the teacher to take the kids out there?
I don't know. It's just it's because we're not allowed to have guns. It's like, Sorry to change the subject. Saturn Rooster says, I'd love to come on your show for a chat about a brand spanking new discovery about the ancient world. Music, math, planets, metric, and imperial, both ANSI.
ANSI?
Send me an email, Saturn Rooster.
Oh, it hasn't been publicly named. Incredible reporting.
Yeah.
They're described as a male teacher. So they have defined his gender. But it doesn't say. Well, we'll keep our eye on that. All right. Well, so on that same vein, I don't know if you heard about this thing.
Actually, hang on. There is a thing about grizzly hunting, right? Like they're not allowed to do the grizzly hunting anymore, right? They used to be a thing.
I don't know. You might still be able to in BC. I'm not totally sure.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't in Alberta. But they're talking about bringing it back. So I don't know if you heard about. Did you hear about this one? This guy.
No. Where's Piran National Park?
I think it's in Bulgaria
Okay.
or something. So the man found missing for 17 years, found alive. You think he was lost? Do you think he was lost? Look,
Yeah, he was living with the chimpanzees or something, maybe, or what?
Well, it seems like he was just hanging out. A Bulgarian man who went missing 17 years ago and been declared dead was found alive in a remote area of Purin National Park, officials confirmed Friday. Park rangers noticed a tent pitched outside the designated camping zones and approached the occupant for identification. According to Rozan Benensky, director of Purin National Park, the man reacted aggressively. Police were called to the scene and it was discovered that he did not have an ID card.
Oh my God! Oh boy!
Upon arrival, it was established that the person had been declared dead and the death certificate had been issued for him. The individual is believed to be a Bulgarian citizen, most likely from Ruse. Authorities reported that the man had been a state and internationally wanted individual in 2008. After a failed search, he was declared dead in 2013.
Oh, so he took off and ran to the woods.
Yeah. The tent was located in a remote section of the park far from hiking trails. So I guess he was a criminal. They didn't mention, I didn't realize that part of it.
Yeah.
So he got a fine. $294.
So I guess you'd rather just run away for 17 years and live in the woods instead of go to jail, I guess, or
Yeah, well, it doesn't. It just seems like they just forgot about the other stuff because it says once he's identified is fully identified and verified, authorities will assist him in obtaining proper identification documents and impose an administrative fine for camping outside authorized areas. Fines under current regulations range from 500 to 5,000 Bulgarian leva. This demonstrates the challenges of monitoring remote areas of the park. Why do you need to monitor remote areas of the park? I just don't get it. Just leave him be. Doesn't seem like he was a murderer or something, right? Anyway,
it reminds me a little bit about the family in France. I guess they were in the off grid somewhere with like 3 kids and a man and a wife. They were just doing their own thing, like raising up their kids, off grid, and they had to take the kids in for food poisoning, and the hospital. I guess they were probably on the radar somehow, I think, but then they got their kids taken away from them.
what?
Yeah.
That's it.
So there seems to be some weird. There's another story as well about some clamps down from people living off grid. And then I saw a video today about Canadian provinces, how they're changing regulations to make it harder for people to live off grid, or maybe they're not doing it to make it harder, but the regulations in some of these provinces like BC and Ontario are making it harder.
That's because they need the kids like this. Look at this. Have you seen? This is an old video.
Yeah.
But this is a study from the 70s. They took 4 windowless first grade classrooms, swapped the harsh flickering fluorescent lights for full spectrum bulbs that mimic real daylight, and filmed what happened.
First grade classroom, and several time-lapse cameras were used in a standard first grade classroom, and several hyperactive children may be noted, especially the boy in the immediate foreground. "90 days after, the regular cool white fluorescent tubes were replaced with the new type full spectrum fluorescent tubes with radiation shields, there was a marked..."
I can't hear you.
I said that poor little black kid is struggling.
The guy on the bottom left there, kind of, or?
Yeah.
Improvement noted, and the extremely hyperactive boy has voluntarily moved up to the front row. He raises his hand for recognition and is now up at the blackboard taking part in classroom activities. Prior to the time that this new lighting was installed, this particular boy had an extreme learning disability problem, but quickly learned to read within 90 days after the new lights were installed. There was further noted a general average improvement in both the behavior and academic achievement of the entire class. There are, however, other factors that must also be considered. The implications of the biological effects of light and radiation, as observed through time-lapse photography, are obvious.
I don't know.
And then 20 years later, they get rid of incandescent bulbs and make us use LED ones.
Pretty wild, right?
Or what are the industrial ones that we use in offices and schools?
Fluorescent.
Fluorescent. Is that what they were talking about there? What was the type of lighting again?
About the fluorescent ones there, I think.
Wow.
To full spectrum lighting. So is incandescent full spectrum? It's probably closer to it because it's like
probably closer to red, I think. The red spectrum, right?
Red. Full spectrum be more like sunlight.
Yeah.
Or
it's just so
them.
sad that we're not there yet. You know why this type of technology hasn't improved our lives. Instead, we're going the opposite way.
Well, where do you want to go to next? I got a bunch of stuff. Missing hiker. I got the looking glass stuff. Again, I got this Bill Ryan clip that I think we might have seen. Albert.
Well, let's do some esoteric stuff and start with the looking glass one, and then I'll move into some FDA stuff and then some UAP stuff. So do the looking glass one.
All right, so this is from the Real Inspired on Twitter. The elites panicked when they saw the future 13 years ago. So let's go down to this clip here.
On problem.
Why would you ever just start that with a fucking radial arm saw, you fucking retard?
Problem. When we approach 2012, the timelines converge on that point in time. At the end of 2012, the choices that we make become less and less consequential to the future. And eventually we're pushed into this bottleneck of time, no matter which choice we make. And that's important to the people that had access to looking glass, because what happened was people, very smart people, began to figure out that something big was coming up. Something that made it so all the possibilities of all the future scenarios of any choice, any possibility that was fed in and observed through the looking glass inherently ended up in the same future. And no decision, no possibility changed past a certain point. That's the big secret. All possible timelines lead to the same basic set of history in the future.
You know what? Can you pause it for a second?
Did you know that, or did you find?
I never
radial arm saw.
Yeah, how weird is that? It's just showing the guy in a workshop for like 2 seconds. Good job. So I never really put this together before, like as far as a big cataclysm goes. But I mean, if it was something like a pole shift or an asteroid impact or a super volcano, something that like just wrecks the world, that would make sense, right? Because no matter what you did before that this cyclical event is happening, like maybe it's just a natural cyclical event, right? Is that what you've automatically thought with this?
Maybe. I didn't actually think about that.
But you'd think that because if they had enough years to build underground infrastructure, that they'd be able to change the future by having an expanded group of select people to survive whatever it is.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Rob. Be nice. You're gonna be nice.
Yeah, Rob. Don't be such a.
Don't be a meanie. All right, let's keep.
Trump will be the disclosure president. We're predicting it here. So
are we? Yeah. And he's a turd. So everybody's
a turd
in the future.
And what is that history? Did you know that, or did you find that out?
That is the big question. That is the big secret. That is what sends everybody that has all of the information, that knows everything, into a blind panic. The people that know everything about looking glass, that have gotten all the reports and all the information, the elites of the world, probably figured out that that was the end of the game. And nothing could be manipulated beyond that point. At a certain point, after they're done hearing the computer tell them, this is what's going to happen over and over and over and over again, all they become focused on is how do we fix it? What I do know is that I was called in and asked to solve this problem, this timeline contraction problem. And I eventually did my due diligence and did all the investigating and basically only had one piece of information, and that was reinforcement. The computer's right. The timelines will contract down to some inevitable thing that you guys won't tell me about, so I can't help you.
Hey,
there is an inevitable
Wait,
Maybe-
let it finish. It's almost done. Let it finish.
event. It's been forecast, it's been predicted, it's been fed to us in a slop trough of what they want us to believe will happen. However, they don't actually have control over what happens. They only have control over the reaction, and it seems that no matter what they try to do to cause their desired reaction, it's going to have an opposite effect. If I had to give it a name, I would say it's the awakening process.
That's so weird. Rob just wrote down in the chats there, so Mandela effect is then real. I was just thinking about that. That's what I was going to say. So maybe getting rid of the cornucopia from Fruit of the Loom would change the course of history.
Think so?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
There was another new Mandela that was really interesting too.
all right. Well, that naturally plays into this one.
Dream, he predicted 3 world wars. The First World War, he said, must be brought about, and I'm quoting from Albert Pike. The First World War must be brought about in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the power of the czars in Russia and of making that country a fortress of atheistic communism. The divergences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the British and German empires will be used to foment this war. He says, quote, the Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. This war must be brought about so that Nazism is destroyed and that the political Zionism will be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel and Palestine. He's now thinking about this Third World War, and it says that it will be caused by the differences between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. That's what it says.
I don't know.
The other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economic.
So that's the event, maybe? I don't know if I don't think that's I heard that was debunked.
Yeah, that could be debunked. I mean, the event could be a cataclysm too, couldn't it? Right? It's like no matter what they did, the cataclysm happened.
Rob says, as a Jew, I wanted to know which tribe the Berenstein Bears were from, and it was not the Berensteins.
Oh man, I still got quite a bit of stuff here. I got. You want to take a turn?
Yeah, so this is just more ancient stuff. This is from Open Minded Approach. There's an ancient breakaway civilization that has survived past cataclysms. Do you remember we were talking about this with, I think it was with Ricky on the ripple effect? Currently piggybacking on our resources and controlling us from the shadows. Apparently, according to the Holloman Air Force Base meeting, they looked like ancient Sumerians or Egyptians, pale. And one of them even had a staff with coiled wires that looked like the caduceus with the twisted serpents. So that means they have survived multiple past catastrophic events and geomagnetic excursions. I didn't know that part about the Holloman one, so I can't. I don't know if that's the real. Because he's talking here about 6,000 years ago, the Sahara was a green oasis. But the 5.9 kilo-year event and the Soloviki geomagnetic excursion, everything changed. So that's interesting. And then this is another interesting one I'll read here. This is from Steph Kent, the Covertress. What if everything you've been taught about human origins is deliberately missing 90% of the picture? So Earth was never ours alone. The proof isn't in conspiracy forums. It's locked in Vatican vaults, buried in Odessa's 2,500 kilometers of catacombs, and hidden inside the DNA of children being born right now. Ancient Egypt didn't end with Tutankhamun. Sealed papyri allegedly kept beneath St. Peter's described a pharaoh bloodline that continued off-planet. Tut's coffin wasn't symbolic. It was a functioning return craft. The same text mentioned metal birds and flying boats that carried the elite away when the mission here was complete. We were kind of talking to Ricky about that too, right? In the Odessa catacombs, Soviet expeditions recovered polished titanium instruments dated 20,000 BC, and skeletal remains with crystalline implants our metallurgy can't replicate even today. Those bones are scheduled for a public DNA sequencing next year. Watch what happens when the results drop. 23 years ago, a 24-year-old Lama's son vanished from Lhasa. He resurfaced in Argentina speaking fluent Spanish, carrying a U.S. passport issued before his own birth. Full genetic workup, 0 Neanderthal, 0 Denisovan, 100% unknown hominid lineage. The file known as the Latifa case gets declassified next year. Science calls 90% of our DNA junk. That same junk activates under spiritual energy fields measured in Tibetan monasteries and Sufi orders. Every single Rh negative mother giving birth to children with extra vertebra, lower body temperature, and no fear imprint is lighting up those sequences like a Christmas tree. Our colleagues proposed a new classification in 2023 that's still being suppressed. Close encounters aren't 3 kinds. There are 4. Well, there's 5. CE5. There are 4. The 4th kind is permanent removal, and every missing 411 cluster map perfectly onto zones, cluster maps perfectly onto zones where these taken individuals later reappear as adults with abilities that break physics. Interesting. Onboard medical procedures aren't abductions, they're upgrades, instant cellular regeneration, real-time DNA resequencing, implantation of crystalline memory lattices. The program that began in the 40s is now entering harvest phase. 4 bloodlines, 4 types. Type 4 is the one they fear. Those children are being born today with active telekinesis, 0 fear imprint, and the calm of somebody who already knows how the story ends because they wrote it. So here's the end of it here. The original administrators never left. They simply went dormant. The Vatican archives open in 2027. The Odessa bones go public in 2026. The Latifa file drops in 2026. Hopefully, the Knights Templar get to open their vaults next year. That would be cool to have it all happen at once. The clock is ticking. Look around. Some people that are reading this right now aren't from here. They're the bridge species. They're the return tickets, and they're already home. And this is
гипотез по поводу существования
it's not just her writing this. It's a
иных цивилизаций на Земле и
this
внеземных
Russian guy
цивилизаций.
here talking about it.
Поясните поконкретнее.
Значит, исторические документы свидетельствуют о том, что
A bunch of Russians in suits here, so it's really interesting. So the original administrators is coming back to reclaim the planet. I mean, maybe that's the big thing, or maybe that's Blue Beam. They need a population that can survive the frequency shift. They're carrying the type 4 markers. They're the bridge species. Interesting, eh?
The bridge species.
So I want to go into this now. This is that big movie that just came out. People are talking about it all over the place. David Grush and UFO disclosure. So this is Megan. It's so crazy that Megan and Tucker and all these people are talking about UFOs. Walter believes at POTUS will this is interesting. This is what Rob and Ian were arguing about in the chats there. Walter believes at POTUS will reveal the truth about UFOs. He also makes insightful comments about what disclosure would mean for society. Here's a clip. Walter's the one that's been doing those Substacks with Matt Taibbi, I think. So I'll just play like a couple seconds of this here.
Dave Grush is a friend of mine, and he's a source, and I've known him for 3 years. I was texting him in the green room. I said, what can I tell Megan's audience? He said, the problem with the aliens is that we care a lot about them, but they don't care a lot about us. In other words, we're still exploring this universe. The gorilla was only discovered in the middle of the 19th century. It was a mythical being that they finally discovered in the jungle. They found bodies and so on. I'm convinced, and I hate to tell you this, that Dave is telling the truth, and that against great pressure and great mockery, he's trying to describe our actual world to us. It's a world in which we have not made all the discoveries yet. Now, he often compares them to mountain lions. He says, "Do you believe in mountain lions?" Everybody would say yes, right? How many of you have actually seen one?
I have seen one.
You've seen one?
In Montana.
Okay, well,
yep. Ugly.
I am convinced that this isn't a stop, that this isn't
what?
He's lying.
She's lying or he's lying?
Seen a mountain lion.
Conspiracy theorists.
It was a cougar, Megan.
Called Project Blue Beam, an attempt to dazzle us all with a false god that will bring us all under, slavery of some sort of world government.
See, that's the blue beam we were talking about earlier today, too.
I think
that's
that
Blue Beam.
Barely.
What?
So that's the Jew beam.
Yeah.
But somewhat commonly over the years, going back through human history, we have visited beings of other types. It's a big universe, one we barely understand. We're very young. We're going to learn about, I can promise you this, we're going to learn more about this. And in the same interview, he tells you that Donald Trump knows a lot about it. That's my information too. If you know anything about Donald Trump, he can't, he will not avoid bragging about what he knows before he. So I expect him to be the president who tells us what we haven't heard.
So what, can you just outline it for us more clearly? What exactly is he telling you they've seen?
Do you want me to keep going with this then, or?
Yeah, you could go a little
bit, just a little bit more.
They've recovered craft that have crashed. Some of those craft have fought each other. In other words, people say, how could they crash? They come across the universe. Well, we're not so sure they come all that far, frankly. We're not so sure they don't have places nearby to come visit. They're a little bit like gardeners from the descriptions of the people I've had as sources. They check on the garden every once in a while, but they have their own business. They have their own family fights. They have their own voyages. No.
What's that?
On the moon.
Right.
Now, what he's talking about are actual bodies on the ground. I imagine there's going to be a day where you're going to sit down in front of your television and people who you trust, scientists, politicians, ones who don't necessarily agree with each other on everything, but do agree on something like the truth, will bring forward the evidence. You will be convinced. It will not rock your world if you're a religious person. You can handle it. If you've read the Bible, there are all sorts of creatures in there who aren't explained. If you believe that these are a demonic presence, I don't think they are any more than certain animals are. But, there was a time when we thought we were alone in the universe almost as a planet, that the sun revolved around us and so on. But we survived the revelation that it was the other way around. We'll survive this. It'll be.
So I'll stop it there. Is this why the FDA is quietly writing guidelines about how to deal with negative entity attachment? Could this be real?
No.
Yeah. No?
Why is the FDA quietly publishing guidelines for entity?
First of all, I don't like this little who are those guys again? Family Guy? The Family Guy AI. It's why can't you just, I don't know.
Why is the FDA quietly publishing guidelines for entity attachment management? Lois, they're treating ghost
entity attachment management
possession like seasonal allergies.
Wait, demons are a medical condition?
Yes, Christopher. Apparently, take 2 Tylenol and stop letting spirits draft your soul is now clinical advice. You magnificent meat gumball.
Come on, the FDA does not have ghost removal protocols. Actually, internal documents refer to non-physical influence remediation. That's politicians speak for, we don't call it ghosts, but something's in there.
They won't say possession, Brian. They say external consciousness interference. That's bureaucracy's favorite game. Rename the demon. Pretend it's a spreadsheet.
It's like calling arson thermal enthusiasm. Still fire, you British gnome.
People go to the doctor because a ghost is inside them?
Hospitals call it identity displacement events. I worked in the system. They treated quietly to avoid public panic.
And the wild part? The protocols match ancient exorcism steps almost exactly. Breath regulation, cognitive separation, energetic disidentification. Same recipe, new branding.
Okay, that is strange. Why rename all of that?
Because if you say entity, people ask questions. If you say dysregulated consciousness artifact, nobody reads past page 1.
The FDA isn't validating demons, but the overlap is too perfect to ignore.
So the government knows about attachments?
You know enough to make guidelines without using the scary words. That's how you talk about something real without ever admitting it exists.
It's occult bureaucracy. Summon the truth, then bury it in PDFs no one can find.
The decoded terms, the parallels, the internal memos, everything lines up. But the uncensored breakdown would get this video memory hold instantly.
So the real files, the translation, historical keeps the stuff the algorithm can't chew.
You want the full picture? The kind they don't sanitize? Where do people find that?
SigilumAlexio.com.
What's that, Aaron?
I said I wish I could memory hold that video.
What do you mean? I mean, what about just the content? Forget about the...
Yeah, it would be all right, except for the Family Guy presentation.
So, I mean... Paulie, here's amazing Paulie. Might this be in reference to Wi-Fi or other microwave radio signals, not ghosts or demons? Maybe. Interesting point. So that is a real website. It does have a bunch of books, occult books for sale.
Demon. Oh, there's a demon. That's an alien.
The site checks out with many books free, while others range from $6.66, of course. Here it is right here. Unveiling Ancient Secrets, the Forbidden Manual of Sigil Magic. How reality, consciousness, and manipulation systems actually work. This looks like a pretty cool site. Some cool books. Probably
what if the disclosure and the cataclysm go
hand in hand?
What if they just can't keep a lid on the aliens because the aliens
want to? They're the ones controlling it.
Yeah.
There's the Book of Enoch and the Book of Giants. The story is that there's these sky gods. And this story, for people who know it, is going to track exactly with the Anunnaki. It's going to track right with it. This Bible story is going to track right with it. So you've got these sky gods, and they send watchers down to Earth. And their job is to shepherd and guide humans, teach them animal husbandry and agriculture and all that stuff. But the watchers become corrupt and fascinated with human women. The Hecklefish says, oh, that's not going to end well. And it didn't. So the watchers, who are probably angels, they interbreed with humans. And then their offspring are the Nephilim. And the Nephilim are they're giants. In some books, they're 350 feet tall. They're vicious. They're violent. They're cannibals. And these are the unholy offspring of the angels and humans. The giants now they're ravaging the world, and they're just making a mess of things. And that's when God decides it's got to stop. We got to start over. And then he wipes it away with the flood.
What do you think? I like it.
True, Graham? Is this true? You've read the book Enoch? Is this
accurate? Yeah. I think so. Yeah. I mean, I trust the Y-Files guy.
Yeah.
I think, for the most part. Oh, John McKim is saying, I have a native book with a picture of a giant next to a regular chair. Alberta stuff. And Ian saying disclosure and catastrophe would distract, like the disclose of missing billions of defense money followed by 9/11.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know.
The second tab. God damn it.
Book of Enoch expands on all of that. Has Enoch going up to heaven to speak to God. And that's that's heresy to say, because heaven's not supposed to be a place. Like mortal man can't go to heaven and certainly can't come back, but Enoch did. And he was specifically taken there. I think he was taken there by Uriel and taken up there in a chariot of fire. And then Enoch is walking around heaven, but he's describing a place where he's seeing tall beings of light going about their business. And the walls are covered with how he describes as emeralds that are just blinking lights on and off. And he talks about how he can see all of the earth. And he describes how he can see how the winds are made, and I can see every lake and river on the earth. And when you think of heaven, you think of like, clouds in the sky, but Enoch said that there's a roof, there's a ceiling, and everything is shining. And what it sounds like he's describing is a spacecraft. If you read the book, like if you read the book through a modern lens, it's like this guy is on a UFO. He's up there and they take him all around the cosmos. And this is all in the book. He describes the solar system, and he's told the earth goes around the sun in 364 days, which we weren't supposed to know any of that then in the book of Enoch. Book of Enoch.
Is that accurate as well, Graham?
I don't know.
No, you don't know? All right.
No, I don't know.
Well, I got a couple more things to finish up my side of the free segment. If you want to take a turn.
No, I'll let you finish it off. I'm gonna save my stuff for all the bonus segment there.
Okay.
This is the forbidden history of Easter Island. You won't hear anywhere else. As they're approaching Easter Island, Roggeveen and his crew are in a couple ships, and they basically say they see a small boat ship coming towards them, manned by one guy, and they say the guy in the boat was about 12 feet tall. They get on the island. Roggeveen describes that he saw a separate priest class on Easter Island that venerated the statues and served them as the general population didn't. He said the general population was of a mixed descent. And I'm paraphrasing here, but he said the priest class was extremely large, had extremely white skin, red
hair, long ears, double rows of teeth.
Distinct remark that this was a separate class. Well, I did more research down this rabbit hole and found some missionaries that seemed to talk about a same priest class. One of the missionaries, he talked about how a priest class was cannibals and would eat children in the name of their god Make.
I like it. We're going to Easter Island. If somebody wants to join us, we're going in March. Check out contactatthecabin.com.
We're going.
A few spots left.
All right. Well, then I got this, which is just a little video of an elite bunker. We can stop at any time or fast forward it. This is Buddy driving in, going underground.
Oh, I like this one.
Looks like just a warehouse something, eh?
Wait till you see him go in. Oh, I think, is this the one that opens up in this massive?
Yeah. Train tracks and shit going in it.
That looks like it must be Europe or the UK by the. I mean, that could just be the channel, yeah, with that blue sign.
Train that goes through there over 6 miles long.
I think it said it was Missouri, entrance 3 in Missouri. It's just an insanely huge parking lot. I mean, look at it. Just parking.
Look how massive this is.
Or is it not even parking? I haven't seen any parking stalls for this parking stall. You know what?
Yeah, I can't really hear you because the other audio is going on, so I don't know if the people can hear it or not.
Parking stalls.
Yeah.
Does it look like a parking lot to you?
Yep.
Oh, look at this guy. It just keeps going and going and going into the side of the mountain. And then I'll finish off the free section with this one. You can tell me. A missing hiker thought she'd only been gone a day, but rescue said it was far longer. She claimed she met another lost hiker matching the exact description of a woman who vanished a decade earlier.
Consistently go missing, and she got lost hiking and couldn't find her way out. And she's there for what seems to her to be, I don't know, a day or to something like that, like many hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually she finds her way out. And people tell her she's been missing for a lot longer than she perceived. And she tells them when she was in there, she ran across one other hiker who was also lost. And for a while, they were fellow travelers. And then they decided to part ways and both independently try to find a way out. She describes this other woman that she ran into while she was lost. The description fits to someone who went missing there like a decade or more ago and was never found. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's a local spatiotemporal vortex where this poor girl who this hiker ran into had been there for like a decade.
Whoa.
And she was still trying to get out.
Suspended in time.
Yes. And this hiker got out, and the other girl that she ran into while she was in the forest never did. Okay, which sounds like the Bermuda Triangle, but on land.
These mountains exist everywhere. This one.
Anyway, that's pretty bad. I think our show's better than that, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. We had a better show with Jason, I think. I'll just take us into the second half here. Did you see all these things in 1913? The Federal Reserve, the IRS.
Wait, so is this second half content?
Well, no, I thought you'd bring us in. Like usually you ask me to do something, so I'm doing it.
Well, yeah, usually I like to tell people to sign up.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, well, so if you want more roundup, sign up for Plus at GrimAmericaOutlawed.ca. We appreciate it. That's what keeps us going, keeps us in business, keeps us not homeless. So if you do like it, if you're getting some value, just head over to GrimAmericaOutlawed.ca. You sign up at $6 a month and you get double whammy. Double this in your inbox or in your podcast player, wherever you want it. You can get twice the Grim America Outlawed, just like that. So sign up if you're liking it. You get extension on the interviews as well. We hope you like the roundups. Let us know what else you want to hear. Other than that, take it away, Graham.
Well, I mean, did you know all these things were created in 1913? The Federal Reserve, the IRS, Rockefeller Foundation, American Cancer Society, ADL, Warburg, linked to the Rothschilds, installs central banking, 1914, World War I. All in 1 year.
Who's gonna kill this sacred cow? You were never political anyhow. Since when did you start trusting in the government? Since when was it okay to ridicule and shame your neighbor? Your opinions have become as fickle as artificial flavors. What matters most to you? What the TV host told you to do? Or a moral compass that points true north, oh true? Who's gonna kill this sacred cow? You were never religious anyhow. Since when did you kiss the ring on the hand of the Pope? Since when do we need pharmaceuticals to cope? Your soul has become, ever-loving soul has become as brittle as communion wafers. What matters most to you? What the Holy Ghost told you to do? Or a moral compass that points true north, oh true? I'm gonna kill this sacred cow. Bureaucrats think I'm non-essential anyhow. Since when has our culture become so lowbrow? It's all touchscreens, and nobody has any know-how. Your idea of fun is taking 1,001 photos of your duck face. Matters most to you what the celebrities post told you was cool, or a moral compass that points true north, oh true. I'm gonna kill this sacred cow. I'm gonna kill your 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 sacred cow. I'm gonna kill